Hello Internet, around here I go by Cat of Diamonds and welcome to my FannishReviews. This is my first update for June. The first book I finished this month, An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. This is book one in a series. It came out last year and I heard nothing but good things about it, and then I finally went and got it as a part of my huge library haul, and it is due today. But I finally finished it and it was very good. I do have to trigger warning for rape. It's very entrenched into the culture of this book. It is a way for the people in charge to keep control of the people who are not in charge anymore. There is no intense scene for rape, but it is discussed, it is threatened, and it is implied. So do with that what you will before you decide to go pick up this book, because I just think it's important to disclose. This is a fantasy book that is loosely based on historic Greece and Roman Empire. The empire that is currently in charge in this book is a very martial and military, very dangerous, and if you are anyone on the outskirts of the martial law, then your life probably isn't that great. It is told in two point of views, Lila and Elias, or whatever their names are when you pronounce them properly out loud. It is very intense and I enjoyed it very much. I didn't really know much going into this book, and so I think it washed over me a lot better that way. There isn't really a love triangle so much as a love polygon, maybe. There are multiple love interests for both of our point of views, so it's just gonna kind of be what it is throughout the series. But obviously we haven't seen how the roles are going to play out, because the alliances of those relationships are going to be very important since we are dealing with an empire. Ultimately, I rated it a 5 out of 5 on Goodreads. I really enjoyed reading it, and I look forward to the second book, which I believe is already out or coming out very soon. Because I'm pretty sure the end of this month is going to be too busy to read, I've been trying to read a lot in the beginning of this month, which means I finished my second book, which is I Was Jane Austen's Best Friend by Cora Harrison. This is a historical fiction about Jane Austen's best friend, Jenny Cooper, who Jane Cooper was a real person who did stay with Jane Austen in her parents' home when she was a teenager. All of the other characters, I believe, are real from the author's note in the back, but it is the author's idea of what Jane was like as a teenager as she researched based on the letters and notes and journals and stories that the Austen family were able to keep and protect. I do recommend this as a quick, easy, fun summer read for any Austen addict. It is very much influenced by the Austen novels. I think what makes me like it the most is that it's based on real people, but it's the author's imagination of who these people were gleaned through the existence of real letters between these people in real life. The book itself is a little bit to get adjusted to because it's written both in first person and journal entry, so there's kind of an adjustment from the journal voice versus the first person voice, because it can kind of get confusing because they sound so similar, they read so similar, and the text to separate the two is very close. There's also fun little drawings like a real journal would have, as well as papers of stories that Jane has written and little one-off shoots of letters. All in all, I had quite fun reading this. It only took me 4 days to read it when I was like reading it on the bus, picked up, put down, very easy to get back into and quite enjoyable. However, I have too many books, and so I need to be a little cutthroat with what I keep, and this one is going to go find a new home. However, I hope the person who gets it next enjoys Austen and enjoys this as much as I enjoyed reading it. Hello, June update video. I am literally packing for VidCon. I finished the Storyspinner a few days ago, and I've been so busy and my camera hasn't been set up, so I haven't been able to update my video about this. I would say that it's like 4 out of 5. I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to. It's told by so many different perspectives. Like, I think it's necessary for the story that they wanted to tell, and I understand why they get it, but as a reader, it was like a lot to get used to, because there's so many introductions of characters that you have to get used to, but then you have to get used to their voices, and then you have to like put it all together in a cohesive storyline. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to the second book. The reason I'm vlogging about this right now is that I am actually taking it to VidCon to pass it on to another reader, because I need to get rid of books, but also, like, I think this is a good book to pass on. I will be reading the second book. It leaves off on a cliffhanger, and I want to know more. So, it's a really quick update. because I have to pack. Like, really have to pack. For this installment of my June reads, I am at not Denver Comic Con, I'm at VidCon. I just recorded the other YouTube vlog, and I finished Flawed before my plane took off from Denver. This was supposed to be my plane read, and I finished it before that happened because I got to the airport 2 hours early. But I'm talking about this book, not about my experience reading it. I enjoyed it a lot for its world building. Our main characters could be a little dumb sometimes, but overall it was a really enjoyable book, and I liked not knowing much about it. But Flawed is the society that the minute you make a mistake, it's not that you're a criminal, but you are still ostracized from society. You have different rules that you have to follow. So very much that dystopian theme of classism. And our heroine, main character, is half black, half white, and she doesn't feel like that is what makes people look at her. And so that's interesting, having a person of color as your main character, but their race isn't the big deal in the society. Wow, that is really loud. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up because the AC's turned off, but yet still super loud. Or maybe it's the fridge. I don't know, there's something really loud, and this is the stack of books that I am taking to give away here. The plan was to read this on the plane to VidCon and then not bring it home and bring 3 new books home max. I'm not allowed to bring anything more than 3. I guess when I do a summer haul, you'll find out how many I end up bringing home, but for now. So as I'm filming this video, it is June 30th, which means the month is over and July is about to happen. But the awkward moment of this is that I did a book review as my last book of the month. My last book of the month was Michelle Madow's The Head of Medusa, book 3 in the Elemental series. That link is up there. So this is the part of the video where I wrap up the month and plug my other content, which one of those is my most recent video being a book review. But at the same time, I really hope you hit the subscribe button because I just got back from VidCon, which means a collab video is coming up. My first collab on this channel. My favorite thing about VidCon is that it is super inspiring to me, so I have all of the ideas for all of the content, and I have about 4 videos in the queue for both of my channels. I hope you are enjoying my videos if you're subscribed, and of course leave comments with suggestions on all the stuff and things. Like and subscribe and all that other pluggy stuff, because until my next video, happy reading.